You've been traveling through a cave network for a while now. The rigid stone is a welcome respite from the eerily organic infrastructure you've been encountering, but it is proving an unwelcome respite from friend-making. Maybe it was too much to hope for, that this cavern would be home to another potential new buddy. Maybe leaving the big city behind was a horrible mistake. Just maybe these dark, cold tunnels are completely devoid of... Oh, hang on, there's a bunch of buildings in the distance.
Oh, hello. I thought you were one of my girls, but you don't look like a Jade Blood. Or anything else, actually. How strange.
You convey your usual spiel regarding your circumstances. You're lost and lonely, and your ribs are still broken, you think? Honestly, the ribs are fine. You could just use another friend or two.
I see. My first responsibility is to my Jades and the Mother Grub, so I can't make any promises of friendship just yet, but you do look like you could use someone to take care of you. Here in the Brooding Caverns, we follow a few simple rules. 1. Don't invite drama from up top down below. 2. Protect the Mother Grub. 3. We have no hierarchy, but do what I say. Let's do everything we can to keep up our current record of dozens of sweeps without any Jades being culled.
You're not sure what half of those words mean, but you nod your head.
Good. I'll take you to our hive. Follow me.
You follow her into a hive, which looks like a school or some kind of dormitory, with multiple rooms and multiple floors.
Usually more of my Jades are around. I suppose that everyone is out watching the Imperial drones arrive with the filial pails. Girls, we have a visitor to our caverns! 1. Do not be alarmed by their bizarre appearance. They seem to be harmless and quite weak. 2. Do not give them any more injuries than they already have. Our visitor deserves a warm Jade Blood welcome.
She claps her hands. No one else is around, but you stand to attention and give her the thumbs up to show that you read her loud and clear. You notice that she called you visitor and not friend, but that's okay. You can do whatever it takes until you've upgraded from visitor to friend, or at least charity case. You follow her upstairs and she stops at a big room on the second floor. When you step into it, you have to clap your hand over your mouth to keep from gagging at the revolting sight. There are big, baby-sized larvae-looking things all over the floor, squirming around and crying and inchworming out of kiddie pools of green slime. What the hell?
This is our nursery. Most of these wigglers are sick or injured, so we look after them here until they're well enough to go back out to the caverns and spin their cocoons.
She looks shifty all of a sudden, giving you some side-eye like she's sizing you up. You try to look very non-threatening and also 100% trustworthy.
We keep this nursery on the down low. It's not against any laws, but it's something of a break with tradition to save any of the grubs instead of just letting them die. To tell you the truth, I'm not sure why we do it. I guess it just feels right to me to take care of them the same way I take care of my Jades.
A nursery, huh? You look around again with this new information. You guess you can sort of see how the wigglers look like babies. You can't believe that one of these things could grow up into anything that looks like Bronya. But this is an alien planet, so who knows? She takes you over to a shelf that seems to hold medical supplies. You're not sure what can be done for your broken ribs, but maybe she has some kind of alien technology that can help. But when she starts going through the cabinet, you don't see anything that looks high-tech like the thing that fixed your arm.
I guess that most of what we have is stuff for the wigglers. And I'm not familiar enough with your bizarre anatomy to know if it will help. But if you're not completely sure how to do something, it's best to try anyway. 1. Even if you fail, everyone else can learn from your mistake. 2. Maybe you won't fail. You never know.
You're not so sure about applying this ethos to your broken ribs. But she looks so determined, it might be rude to say no.
Oh, well, if you're sure. I'm worried about you, though. You seem like you need help, and I wish I could help you more. If I can't take care of someone, I'm not sure how we can ever truly be friends.
You try to cheer her up, pointing out that friendship is a two-way street after all. She doesn't have to concern herself with your mutilated frame. how can you help her instead?
Well, sure. There are things around here I could use some assistance with. However, don't take this the wrong way, but we've only just met. I don't know that I can trust you to be as responsible as I am. It's not easy being the one in charge. You have to be 1. Conscientious, 2. Considerate, and 3. Competent at all times.
You try to think of times in your life when you've been conscientious, considerate, or competent. You're drawing a bit of a blank, but hey, new planet, new you! You assure her that you have what it takes.
I guess if you want to prove that you can be responsible, I can let you help me out today. It's a good time for a visit to the Mother Grub.
You're careful to step around all the little guys on the floor as you head out of the nursery. She takes you back outside, and these caverns are even bigger than you first realized. They're also dark, and cold, and gloomy, and you can't see anywhere that might lead up to the planet's surface. Does she really just live down here all the time? To make some conversation during this cold hike in a damp cave, you mention that living underground like this seems kind of depressing. You realize too late that this wasn't very tactful, but she doesn't get angry at your conversational gambit of insulting her home.
Oh, no, it's very peaceful down here. Well, in comparison to anywhere else. I quite enjoy it. The brooding caverns are a place for life and birth, not death. That's pretty uncommon on Alternia.
You're still not sure what she means by brooding caverns, but you guess it has something to do with the wigglers in her nursery. Before you can ask, you reach the top of a ridge and get a new, wider view of the rest of this cavern. It's enormous, probably the size of a small city. All over the cave floor, you see more wigglers crawling everywhere. Cocoons line the cave walls and the largest stalagmites, with some young trolls crawling out of them. Walking, flying, and crawling among the wigglers and young trolls are a variety of white monsters of all kinds of shapes and sizes. In the center of the cavern there is... you don't even know how to describe it. It looks like a huge, many-legged queen bug of some kind, with a goat-shaped skull and horns coming out of her head. Her bulbous sphincter ripples as she lays a continuous stream of hundreds of eggs, from which you assume the grey wigglers will hatch. And marching through all this, you see several hulking bipedal creatures, each carrying 2 buckets either to or away from the mother grub. They look armed and they move like regimented troops, soldiers of some kind. You are instinctively terrified of them.
This is where the magic happens, and by that, I mean the continuation of our species. Jadebloods like myself are entrusted with looking after this process, which of course is a very special job. 1. The Imperial drones carry filial pails of genetic material to the mother grub for her slurry. 2. She lays eggs that hatch new grub broods. 3. After the wigglers emerge from their cocoons, the new trolls will go through the trials, and the ones that make it will be selected by a Lucis to help care for them. 4. Together, the young trolls and their Luci go up to the surface together, where the trolls will grow up or get cold or whatever.
As Bronya explains troll reproduction to you, one of the Imperial drones veers sharply to the left, and in the process, tramples over a few wigglers and young trolls. The drone continues on, but several of the Luci cry out, crowding around their dead or injured charges. One of them, a gigantic beast that resembles a bison, bellows and rears up on its hind legs, hitting one of the other Luci with its front hoof.
Oh geez, not again! This kind of damage control is a lot of what we have to deal with. Whenever a Lucis goes rogue out of grief or confusion, there's the potential for it to lash out at other Luci, the wigglers, the mother grub herself. We Jadebloods cannot let that happen.
She looks so concerned, a marked contrast to how confident she seemed before now. You offered to help her out earlier, and it seems like now's your chance. Someone has to stop that rogue Lucis, and that someone could be